All right, hello and welcome to Fractions session number 1. Today we are going to introduce what a fraction is and how it's built and what we can actually start to do with them. If this is your very first time joining me, I want to extend a special welcome to you. If you've been around the block with me before, it is time to have some fun with fractions. Okay, what is a fraction? And I'll read out your answers. Just you can type it or you can tell me right now. Here, I'm lip reading a few of you. Something part of a whole, good. If you have the worksheet for today, this is the top line. It says fractions are numbers. And that probably went off the screen, didn't it? Yep, numbers, there we go. That are part of, you guys had it, a whole. And by whole, we mean whole unit, not like a hole in the ground. All right, so part of a whole unit, and you get to define what a whole unit is. A whole unit could be one chocolate bar. It could be one cake. It could be one pizza. It could be two pizzas as a whole. You get to define what that whole is. Okay, so for example, if I have, here, I'm going to use the worksheet because I know some of you have it. If you don't, you're just going to draw this picture. Can you draw that picture right there? Like the circle with the little laser target in it? Okay. So this is a fraction here, 3/4, right? The 3, what does that stand for? Well, actually, let's start with a 4, all right? The 4. This thing is called the denominator. Denominator, it starts with a D like dungeon, so it's down in the dungeons on the bottom, okay? All right, so this tells you how many pieces make a whole. That tells you how many make a whole. All right, so that is the denominator. That's the one on the bottom. Do you see how there's a 4 there? So you can see there's 4 here. 4 makes a whole unit in this case. You see down here the numbers are different. Okay, so even though the circle size is the same, you can cut it into different pieces. Have you ever gone to a pizza place and the pieces are huge? They're like enormous, right? And your mom says, how many pieces can you eat? And you're like, well, I don't know. Who's it from, right? So, okay. This thing on the top, this guy is called a numerator. Okay. Numerator tells you how many of something that we have. Okay, so this is how many we have. Okay, all right, so how many in here? Well, we have 4 possible. That's how many is in the whole. But how many do we really have? Yep, we have 3. So we would shade in 1, 2, 3. Does it always have to be a round circle? No. Look at the candy bar. Do you guys like candy bars? Yeah, which one? I always like Kit Kat. That was always my favorite. Any Kit Kat lovers out there? No? Okay, 2 people. Okay, 2 people. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So the whole unit is this entire candy bar. All right, but you and 3 of your friends, so that's 4 people total, 4. And if it's going to be fair, you got to divide it into equal pieces, right? So 3/4 would be 3 out of 4. So these 2 pictures both relate to 3/4. So we call this 3/4, and because it's a 4, we can also say 3/4 because there are 4 quarters in a dollar. 4 quarters make a whole. All right, you see that so far? So one of the questions I'm getting right now is a really good question. Do the divisions have to be the same? All right, let me put it to you this way. If you were babysitting a whole bunch of 2- and 3-year-olds, do you think they would notice if the divisions were not the same? Oh yeah, right? And would you hear about it? Like if you took like a cookie and broke it into, he got a bigger piece. Okay, same thing with fractions. So fractions assume those divisions always have to be identical. Same, usually they're the same shape and the same size. Okay, good question. Okay, so the size of the divisions must be the same shape and size. Okay, just think of it this way. It must be fair. Okay, everybody's got to be happy with this arrangement. Nod your head if this is making sense so far. Yeah? Okay, great. All right, you see the pictures on the bottom? Okay, so one of the things I want you to notice is the size of the circles are all the same, right? It's a pizza, but somebody went crazy over here, right? And somebody over here they cut it once, but here they cut it twice. Okay. So we're going to write fractions for each one, but the first thing I want you to do before we do that is can you put a line under each one? Leave a little room on the top. Put a line under each one. Okay? And if you're just taking notes, then you'll just look at this on the screen and then you'll just put lines on your sheet. Okay, if you don't want to draw these, that's fine. Okay, all right, so put a line under each one. Now you tell me how many divisions are here. How many divisions? How many pieces? 1, 2. So 2 make a whole, so that 2 goes on the bottom. Okay, do it over here. How many here? Just shout out the answer right now. Yeah, there's 4. It's the same that we had in the example. Good. What about this one? How many make a whole? 6. Good. Ooh, this can be a little tricky, right? Because there's a lot of them. So here's what I do. I just put dots in them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and I'll put dots, and that'll help me. So I have 8 on the bottom. What do you think about that one? Okay, so we're going to use dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You just count them up. So that is how many make a whole. Here's my question to you. Can you make your own fractions? I want you to shade a certain amount in each one, and then however many you shade goes in the top. I'll do an example. Say I'm going to do the 1 for 6. I'm going to shade this one and that one. So for me, I shaded 2. The 2 goes on the top. You see that? Okay, now you do yours. Your answers are going to be different than mine. Go ahead and do yours. Okay, and they don't have to be side by side. You could do 1, you could do 2 side by side and 1 over here if you want. So I did 3 here, so mine is 3/8, but yours might be different. Yep, so go ahead and do yours right now. Okay, make me some fractions and then show them to me. Let me see what you have. Okay, let me see. Oh, that looks awesome. Perfect. Excellent. Yep, it's totally fine if you're drawing your own. That's fine. Beautiful. Looking good. You got your own. Oh, you even did the 12. Nice. Excellent. Good job. Good job. Let me see. All right, that looks awesome. Good. Good job, Lulu. Perfect. Love it. All right. And is it Elix? Excellent. Beautiful. Okay, great. All right. These are kind of fun, huh? All right. How are we feeling so far? Can we keep going? Yes. Awesome. Great. Okay. So here we go. This is the next part we're going to do, and I'm realizing this is really small. Can I make this bigger? Let me make this bigger. I need my Logitech controls on. So let me make this a little bigger. Is that better? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so here we go. You see the top? Okay, wait, before you go crazy, hang on. You see the top? How many are possible in the top one right here? Can you see that? Here, let's make little dots in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 possible. So put your line. And the bottom, in the dungeon denominator, we've got how many makes a whole. But how many are shaded? That's right, just 1. Okay. Can you do this one? How many are possible? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's the same picture, isn't it? Okay. But how many are shaded here? This is different, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 shaded. So the shaded number goes on top, and this goes on the bottom. Okay. And what about this? What about this? Okay. So 1, 2, 3 is shaded out of 8 is on the bottom. Good. Good. Okay. If this is making sense to you, can you finish the page? Can you finish this page? If this is making sense to you. Here's the second one, in case you don't have it. Here's the second and the third one. Okay. If you're still like, I'm not sure about this, I have something for you. I have a few people asking more questions. Okay. So how many is total here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 2 times is 12, so the 12 is on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4 are shaded. That's on the top. What do you think about this one? You like the pattern there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are shaded. Okay. And then we still have the same number of divisions on the bottom. Good. Okay, so let me pause just for a second. If I were to ask you a question, now I'm way too zoomed in. Okay, if I were to ask you a question, all right, so take a look at this. This is my whole unit, right? All right, and what is this? Well, this is a whole unit also, isn't it? It is. It's a whole unit, and I also have the ability to share it with my best friend, right? So these are halves, right? You break an orange in half, you get half, I get half, right? Okay, so that makes sense. The problem is sometimes going between pictures doesn't always make sense. So here, take a look at this. I have 3. This one's cut into thirds. So I get one, you get one, and your best friend gets one. And they're all the same, right? I can stack them up. They're all exactly the same size. So this here is the same as this. Here, take a look. Do you see how they're the same size if I put them all together? Okay. So what do I have here? So this one is one whole unit. It's just a strip of paper. How much is each one of the purples? Yeah, it's one of these, right? Even though these are different shapes, this is 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3. You see that? 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, because when you put this guy together, it makes a circle. But if you put this guy together, it makes a chocolate bar, right? Or a bar. Okay, so keep that in mind. Let's finish, and then we're going to come back to this idea. Okay, we're good? Yeah? Okay. So, do you see how I've got my thirds down here? So what do you think about that? How much is this one? This one has a 3 possible and 2 are shaded, so that goes on top. What about this one? This is you were really hungry. This is, hey, I ate the whole thing. So 3 are shaded and 3 are possible. Anytime the top and the bottom number is the same, we call that 1. You can have 4/4, 6/6, 10/10, a million over a million. Anytime the top and the bottom numbers are the same, that means it's a whole unit. Smile if that makes sense. Yeah? Does that kind of make sense? Okay, good. What do you think about these guys? How many is possible? 4. Good. And what are the 2 top numbers? Can you show me on your fingers? What would I put for this side and this side? Yeah, anyone feeling like this is so easy? When you break it down, it makes sense, right? Okay. There is something that you probably have in your house that you use all the time, and it's fractions, and you probably didn't even realize it. I'll give you a hint. It looks like this. What is that? Tell me out loud. It's a ruler. That's right. Okay, so do you remember when I had my little sheet of paper out before? So if I have a sheet of paper, now I need to back up a little bit. Okay, so I have a sheet of paper, okay? And what if I chop this into bits? So now I've got, how many do you think are going to make a whole? What do you think? 3? Not 3. Okay, so what are these? Yeah, so there's 4 of them right here. I'll leave a little space so you can see. Okay, so there's 4 of them. So that's like saying 4 make a whole. So what does that mean? So this is one whole. This is one unit. And then this here, how much would each one be? Well, since there's 4 of them, the 4 goes on the bottom. And each one of these is 1. Right? Smile if you've got this so far, right? Each one of these is 1. Okay. Now, if we make a ruler out of this, and we say this is the 0, here, I'll move these guys out of the way, and this is the 1, say it's 1 inch, 1 inch, okay? Right here is a 1/4 inch. Right here is what? How many quarters do I have right here? 1 and 1 make, 1 plus 1 is, that's right, it's 2 quarters, because there's 2 quarters here. But now if we go out to here, do you see how it's 3 quarters? Okay. And then you're like, well, wait, that says 1 there. Well, it does. You remember what 1 equals? It's the same number, top and bottom. Aha! I see some people going, oh, that makes sense. Yes. All right. So you can divide an inch into any number of units, as you can see on my page here. All right, so hello, measuring tape. You ready? Okay, so here we go. Let me zoom in so you can see these much better. Okay, if you have your, I know it's blurry, give it a second. It'll correct itself. There we go. Okay, better? Can you read it now? A little better? Okay, well, you have it as a handout. Okay, so what do? So the first thing you do is when you're reading, this is standard. So we have centimeters and millimeters and meters. That's metric. We're going to do that in decimals. Unfortunately, the world uses metric and standard, okay, or sometimes they call it US or American, okay, because Americans are the ones that primarily use this. And so we're going to be focused on that part of the ruler. So if you see it says inch, okay, you see 0 to 1 has way more little tick marks in there than from 1 to 2. Okay, that's because to be more precise, we're going to use this. We actually have a few labs that we're going to learn about, and you guys get to measure all kinds of fun stuff. Okay, so here's my ruler. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to look at the division. Well, the first thing you're going to look is the whole number. And you see how this red line goes past the 1? Okay, so you can already write down 1. The line, how long is the red line? It's over 1, but it's not quite 2. So the whole number is 1. Now we're going to add the fraction part, because it's between 1 and 2. Okay, so how many divisions do we have? You don't count the 1. You start counting here. 1, 2, 3, until you get to the next whole number. 4. So that tells you there's 1 quarter, 2 quarters, 3 quarters, 4 quarters. Okay, because there's 4 divisions, the 4 goes on the bottom. All right, so what goes on the top? Okay, so you look here, and it only got as far as the first division, so that goes there. That's 1 1/4. Okay, let's try a longer line. All right, so what's the big whole number on this one? Can you show me with your fingers? What's the big whole number? Yeah, that's right. It's 5. It's after the 5, but less than 6. So you put the 5 there. How many divisions between each inch mark? So this is 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches. Okay, so between the 5 and the 6, don't count the 5 because that's the 0, right? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's 4 divisions. Where does it get to? The first, second, or third, or fourth division? You show me with your fingers. Excellent. So this is 5 1/4. And if it doesn't say, but if this is inches, you put those 2 little hatch marks there for inches. Good. All right, can you do this one? All right, what do we have? So we have 1, 2. It's not quite to the 3, so it's going to be 2. And then, we have more than 4, don't we? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we also count the whole number, so 8. Okay, so there's 8, so that goes on the bottom. All right, so where does the red line go to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, we haven't talked about reducing fractions yet, so you could just leave it like this, and then you put inches. All right, ooh, a scary one at the bottom. You ready for this? I'm going to tell you there are 32 tick marks between the 2 and the 3. So I'm going to tell you what the divisions are. Okay, so you tell me. So which whole number goes here? Does it the 2 or the 3? Okay, so the red line is past the 2. It's past the 3. So you're going to put the 3 as the whole number. So it's 3 inches and then some fraction of an inch. All right, so I already told you it's 32 on the bottom, so you don't have to count. Okay. Can you see with your good little kid eyeballs about how many you think it is? What do you think? It's greater than 2, but less than 4. Yes. So this is 3 and 3/32. Yay! You did it! Awesome. You learned how to read a ruler. So you'd be surprised how many grown-ups can't read rulers. So this is something that's do you see how they're fractions? They're exactly the same as what we were doing before. Here, watch this. Like if I have a line, remember our whole unit line? Okay. If our whole unit line, right? And I say, this is going to be for decimal inches, okay? So if I say, okay, I have my line, and I have 10 of these. So what's the number on the bottom? Okay, so 10 of these makes a whole. How long is the pink line right now? It's less than 1, so if this is 1 inch, this is less than 1. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be 6, and if it makes 10 of them to make a whole, it would be 6/10. You see that? Okay, awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and, so are you guys ready? You ready for a mystery? You guys like mysteries? I like a good mystery. Here we go. Don't write this down, just help me out with this. You guys ready? I have a mystery for you, and this is gonna be the last thing we do before I start answering more questions. We have to find the fraction, and here's your first clue. There are 5 clues. Number 1, The sum of my digits is less than 10. That means if you add the top and the bottom, they're less than 10. So which one should we cancel out? Which one should we cancel out? The sum of my digits is less than 10. It's crossed out. This guy? Anybody else? Is that it? Oh, it looks like we lost our zoom here. Autofocus. Hang on just a second. I am fixing my camera. Okay. All right. Anything else? How about this one? Yes? How about this one? Gone. Anything else? This one? Did I get them all? Okay. Awesome. Next one. My numerator is a 1. Okay, so who can we cancel out? Just say yes or no. Numerator is a 1. Nope. This one? Yes. This one? Nope. This one? Nope. Numerator's the top, remember? Okay. Nope. Nope. Okay, that's it. Denominator is an even number. Denominator is an even number. Okay, who gets canceled? This one, yes or no? Yes. This one? Nope. Yes. Okay. My denominator is a multiple of 4. That means multiple is the number that you could divide it by 4 evenly and have no leftovers. So 4, 8, 12, 16, those are multiples of 4. 6 is not a multiple of 4. If you have 6 cookies and 4 friends, somebody's got to share, right? Okay. All right, last one. The difference between the top and the bottom is 3. So you tell me, which one is it? The difference between the top and the bottom is 3. Did you get it? Yes. Our mystery fraction is 1/4. Good job. Yay. Okay, great. How many of you like ice cream? Yes. Guess what I have for you this week? I have ice cream. You're going to run an ice cream business. And get this. Most kids at the end, when we did this last year, they asked their parents if they could actually go out for ice cream if they finished the lab, and the parents said yes. So it's totally up to you, right? Let me show you what I have for you. I mean, did you guys have fun? That was 25 minutes. 25 minutes of hard math. Yeah, you guys think you got this? Okay, all right. So if you're feeling like, ooh, she went a little fast, okay, here's what I want you to do. Go ahead and click on fraction session number 1. Work on as many of the assignments that you can this week. I will see you for fractions session number 2 next week. Doug will see you on Wednesday, and Leah will see you on Friday if you're participating. I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye, everybody.